Hey everyone, it's Anthony Allen Ramos. All right, I'm so excited. Karamo season 2 is back September 18th. Check your local listings. And I am so excited to be chatting with the man. Karamo, right now, how are you?
I'm good, beautiful. How are you doing?
I'm good. Well, first off, before we talk about what's ahead for season 2, I wanted to just take this minute because I remember thinking what a dream come true this was for you to get this show, but then to have the world love it and for the universe to say, guess what, you get a season 2. I mean, that's gotta feel pretty good.
It felt really good because, nowadays when it comes to television and television pickups, it's very rare when you see a lot of shows that get picked up. So I was thankful that people liked that we were doing conflict, but also having that resolution and that people resonate with people. From week 1, we saw our second video that we ever put up went to 18 million views. And we were like, people like it. And so it just feels nice that after season 1, now we're coming back. I feel like I'm in my groove. I know what I'm doing. I got skinnier and cuter. So I'm ready to go and do what I gotta do.
And we can't, forget how great and important it is that we have a Black queer man leading a daytime talk show. It's so great for representation. I think about your journey. But aside from your queer journey, I think that what you do so well is you have such an interesting life experience, and it gives you a lot of compassion for these people that come on. How do you kind of just use that every day and, kind of just be that kind of compassionate person for every guest that you have?
Well, thank you, Boo. First of all, I appreciate being in this space and being Black and queer and being able to bring my identities, because it does inform the way that I talk to my guests. I understand their experiences. I grew up in the same neighborhoods they grew up in. And also as someone part of the LGBTQIA community, I also know what those guests are going through and what they're dealing with their families. And so it does inform the empathy and love that I have for my guests in a way that is unique to maybe other guests, people who have been in this conflict space that have never walked in our shoes. But for me, it's like, I just know that being the more authentic I can be and just talking about my life and the things that I've been through, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads, allows my guests to know they're not alone. I think that's what we just want as humans, to people to know that we're not alone.
Absolutely. And when it comes to including LGBTQ people in the show as guests, which you've done, I think, it's a fine line because you want to tell these stories and you don't want to make it sensationalized, but you also want the show to be entertaining and get people to kind of, tune in. How do you kind of walk that line? Because I know it's important to you that we don't, kind of make these stories about LGBTQ people seem like it's a tabloid or a sensationalized version of ourselves.
Yeah, it's super important. And so I think the first thing that I remind everyone is that all of our lives, no matter our sexual orientation, gender identity, our race, our cultural background, all of our lives are messy. And we've all had messy lives, whether with partners, family members. And I think allowing my guests to be just human beings who are allowed to have emotions that are up and down is the first key, because sometimes it's that sort of model citizen, model race, LGBT, we have to be a certain way. And it's no, you get to be yourself. But then secondly, it's about respect. Respect has to be there. So if there's somebody who disrespects my guest because of their sexual orientation, it's an immediate correction. We don't allow it to go on. It's you have to acknowledge it, you have to accept it, and then you need to apologize. And if they can't, I'll end the segment. We've done that before, where I've asked them to walk off the stage. I had a trans guest whose father refused to call her by her name, and I said, you got to leave, because this is not going to go anywhere if you can't acknowledge that's the change of it. And I think making sure people know, we're not going to put up with this stuff, because I wouldn't put up with it in my own life, and I'm not going to put up with it for my guests.
100%. I love that. Let's talk about this upcoming season. I'm thinking about the theme about, embrace the mess, of course, which I love. As queer people, I think we can absolutely identify with that. What do you? Well, yeah, exactly. What do you want the journey for season 2 to be? Obviously, having one season under your belt now, what do you want to happen? What do you want the themes and these stories to come out of the season 2?
Well, for season 2, my title segment is that I unlock people's phones to help them get a closure in their lives. And which has been
nervous even thinking about that. I'm like,
if I get around you, I'm unlocking your phone. I'm just letting you know that right now. Even though you're a good guy, you wouldn't have anything in there.
True.
So I just like that has been a signature season. So we have thousands of people that call in daily and are like, I need you to unlock my partner's phone. I need you to unlock, you know, my father's phone, my mother's phone, because they need answers. And I like the fact that we can give closure in a way that's messy and fun, but also like really truthful. Like you get real proof. This is not us saying, hey, like we're going to do something that, you know, we're going to assume this could be the truth. You're getting the facts. And I love that. And so we're going to do a lot more of that. There's going to be a lot more of the resolutions, because I'm always going to make sure my guests leave a little bit better than I found them. And also what I realized is that now the success of the show, you know, like my audience this first week has been filled with people from around the country. And you know, and people coming from me outside of the country, like from the Caribbean, coming to watch the show, that they're also informing what we do, because they write in and say, we want more of this, you know. So they want more of the unlock the phones. They want more of the mother-daughter conflict and how I was resolving those. And so we're just gonna give a lot more of what people already saw, but better. You know, life is messy for all of us, and so we're gonna get a little messy on season 2 of Karamo.
Little messy, I love it. You know, I mentioned, you know, we've known each other a long time. I think about, you know, you're in a relationship, you're a dad, obviously. What's it like for you, getting to be, you know, at this point in your career, which is at such a strong point. But, you know, I just saw you on a podcast talking about when you had to make choices about, you know, can I pay for something for my kids or put gas in my car? Obviously, you're in a different space now, but, you know, looking back on that, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a dream come true for you, but, you know, I would love to.
I mean, we used to talk about the dream, like we've known each other forever. Like we talked about the dream when we were back in the hallways, and I would rush in at 7 o'clock in the morning, and you would already be there producing me, and, you know, and then I'd be rushing to work. And this is what we dreamed of. You know, we dreamed of just keep continuing our careers, being better, and like informing the community and always including the community. You know, like I always give you your praise, because early on in my early career, when I had no resume, you saw me as a queer man and said, I'm going to give you an opportunity, and helped produce me and gave me this opportunity on Access Hollywood that a lot of people don't realize, which is always why I praise you, because you were like, I got you, boo. And, you know, it's the truth. And so, you know, the problems that I had back then, like, I always look back and I'm like, thank God I didn't give up on myself. Thank God I found community. Thank God I just continue to keep striving. And now in my life, there's new issues, because, like, you know, money and opportunity don't solve everything, you know, there's new things that pop up, but I'm navigating them better, because now I understand that I have the tools and I can do it. And so I'm just really thankful. Relationship is good. You might be getting you know, you need to come over and meet him sometime soon. And
love that.
Yes.
And I think, you know, a part of that journey, of course, includes Queer Eye. We love it still going strong.
Me too.
I mean, that I would imagine, you know, it's like the growth of the bonds in that group of the 5 of you has got to be different, but I know it's so strong. I mean, how is it with the rest of the guys?
We got the phone this morning, and it's like because we have a text chain, and then anything that happens to one of us, we all speak about it. And it's just getting stronger, you know, because we went from coworkers to we have to be best friends to now we're just family members. And that is a very comfortable place, meaning like no matter if days where somebody doesn't get along or days where we're all getting along, we're family, and that it's so tight. And you know, a lot of things we're just doing right now is like we're trying to just, you know, continue to support the strike, make sure that we're there, because we need that to be resolved, but we also need, you know, the equity and equality for people. But we also are like, we want to get back to work. We really want to. We just really want to get back, because no matter how much success we each have in our career, we all know that it's the chemistry that the 5 of us had, which has given us these opportunities and has given us so much for our community and everything else as queer people. And so we just really want to get back to work. I can't lie to you.
Right.
I love the show, but I also equally love Queer Eye, and I'm just hoping that we get to go back.
I know. What would be the dream? I mean, maybe you know already, but, you know, what's a place, you know, you would like to kind of go and do what you all do? What's on the bucket list? Because I know we've been to Texas, we've been abroad. Like, where do you want to go?
There's 2 places. I want to go to LA, first of all.
Okay.
But see, when people think of LA, they think of like Hollywood and stuff, but they don't forget like there's all these cities that are outside. Like, you know, like we just go down to Pasadena, we go to like Palm Springs, we go to like, you know, because there's so many diverse communities, you know what I mean? Go to South Central, go to all these places, go to Long Beach. And I think it'd be great. It would also save money being in the backyard because most of us live in LA anyway. And secondly, I would love to go to Florida because that has just been a place that, as we know, has had a long history of not treating queer people, people of color properly, legislation being passed. And we did it season 1 going to Texas, and we saw the effects of us being there. We saw what having a international platform and 5 LGBTQI people going there, how it influenced certain things. Obviously, things didn't change drastically, but we saw some change. And why not do it again? Why not go back to Florida and say, hey, you know, you can pop us right down to Miami and we can take a 2-hour drive up to wherever we need to go. And, you know, we'll get it done.
I love that. Well, you know what? Like I said, fingers crossed. We support the strikes, but of course, everyone is excited and ready to get back to work. So more to come on that. But I'm so excited that season 2 of Karamo will be back September 18th. Everyone, check your local listings. It's gonna be fun. They're gonna embrace the mess, all of the things. Unlock the phone. Oh my goodness. But Karamo, cheers to you. I can't wait for this next season.
Well, I appreciate you always.